Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Patina Tumbler. Here is the supply list that you will need. So first we're getting started. Since I'm only doing patina on the bottom half, I tape off the top portion of this tumbler. I make a paste with my teal and blue paints. I use liquidtex acrylic art paints, and they're kind of thick, so they make kind of like a patina paste to them. So I'm first starting off with applying that as my base. I prepped my cup white so that it would just have something to adhere from, and it would make my blue paints a little bit brighter. If you do this on a straight stainless steel tumbler, you might not get that bright blue look. So I'm just going to go over with this chip brush. I'm using a chip brush. They have natural bristles in them, and the natural bristles give you kind of that weathered and worn look. So I prefer using these over like a regular paintbrush because I don't want it to look too, I don't know, too slick. I want it to look kind of natural. So I just keep doing that, keep going over it until I'm happy with the coverage that I get. Applying it to all over the bottom of this tumbler, and make sure that you get the bottom as well. And I have to reapply paint every so often. This paint is kind of thick, so it will give it that great texture, that great worn, rugged looking texture where it looks like paint has been sitting outside for a while. So once I get the coverage that I want, I go back over this tumbler several times, this top layer, to get the desired look that I want. There's still a little bit of white spots left, so I just kind of go over those and keep going over those until I get what I am happy with. You can go over it as many times as you want. You can stop, at this point here if you'd like. And now I'm going to speed up the rest of this process because I just keep going over this. Okay, so once you get this to where it's at, and you're going to let it dry. So once the blue part is dry, you're going to take some brown paint and another chip brush, and you're going to dry brush this brown paint on. So real light, not really heavy like we painted on with the blue. So you're just going to kind of brush it in strokes, light-handed. You don't want to glob it on. You want to make where it has these paint strokes showing. So a real light-handed dry brush stroke is what you want with this technique. And I like to use brown because brown is more of the neutral color that you're going to see in a patinaed or weathered item. So my next color I use is going to be this copper color, and I do the same thing with the brown, but I go over the brown with this copper color. So I just squeeze a little bit out on a piece of paper, and then I dab it off so that I get it as kind of dry as I can before I brush it over the brown spots on the tumbler. So this copper color just kind of gives it a little bit of an accent, that coppery, old, weathered look. So copper turns green, so that's what the goal is that we're going for here. I just kind of go over all of the brown with this copper color, but I don't completely cover my brown because you still want to see those brown pieces from underneath. So the dry brushing technique is what I'm trying to achieve here. And I will kind of go over the blue a little bit more with the copper as well, and to where it's just not on just the brown spots. So make sure you get the bottom, and you can do it in any pattern you want. It doesn't have to be matching specifically. I just get kind of a little bit OCD with that. So here I am using that copper color on just the blank blue spots, and it kind of gives it that bright look. And then our last color we're going to be using is black, and the black, you want the least amount of paint you used because black will overtake everything. So I kind of just dab the black on a lot. I dab it on and then I kind of brush up and down, but I dab it more than I am brushing it. If I have too much paint, I'm going to dab the paint off on my paper here, as you can see, and then I'm just going to dab my brush on the little spots that I want. And it's going to give it that little bit of a texture, more of a textured look. And I'm just going to speed through the rest of the process here because it's all just repetitive. So now I'm going to take this Eileen's Tack It over and over, and I'm going to brush it on any spot that I want to put my copper foil flakes on. The Eileen's Tack It over and over goes on white, but it will dry clear. So you just kind of have to remember where you applied this at. But don't worry, you can touch it and it'll feel sticky if you don't remember. So I just brush it on these little spots here, and then I'm going to move to another spot and find, you know, just wherever makes my heart happy. Totally be creative with this. Put the copper flakes wherever you want. There's no rhyme or reason to this. And I'm just going to finish out applying my Eileen's in different areas on the tumbler here. And let's speed the process up. Make sure you get the bottom. Okay, so now I have my copper foil flakes here. I'm going to grab them out. I grab them out with my tweezers because they will go everywhere if you don't. And then I just lay them on the cup here, and then I take my finger and I smooth it out. So I'm kind of feeling for where my Tack It was laid out because it dries clear, you can't see it. So I just take my copper pieces, I put it on there, and then I just take my finger and I smooth it out. And I'm going to do this for every place that I put the tack it down on. And you could do big pieces, you could do small pieces, you can use the foil sheets or the foil flakes, whatever you prefer. I believe I got these foil flakes from Amazon, and I will link everything below where it came from. So here, just speeding up the process of me applying these copper foil flakes on the tumbler. And once I'm done with all of this, I apply to the top portion of this tumbler, I apply a cowhide print vinyl. And then I will apply name decal and then some striping with vinyl. I do not record that because this is simply just the patina process. But here is the end results of that. And I will show you a close-up here of the patina bottom. And you can definitely see the textures of the paint and the textures of the copper foiling here. And that's why I love using the chip brushes or the natural bristle brushes because they will give